Welcome everybody to today's 1 Million by 1 Million Strategy Roundtable for Entrepreneurs. As you all know, the 1 Million by 1 Million initiative is to help 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue by 2020, build $1 trillion in global GDP, and 10 million jobs. It's an ambitious, audacious goal, and the only way it can be successful is if you guys are successful. If you become successful entrepreneurs, if you build at least $1 million businesses, that's how we're going to attain success. So our entire reason for existence, justification for existence, is to make you successful. We are going to be hosting our 115th 1 Million by 1 Million Roundtable today. So as you can tell, we've been doing this for a long, long time, and have a lot of experience working with entrepreneurs in this mode at this point. So it's been a long, interesting journey of getting to know lots of different entrepreneurs, their needs and their issues. And based on that, actually, that experience is what has led us to the rest of the program, which I will talk to you about later on in the segment. So the roundtable is being recorded, and you can follow us on Twitter at the handle at 1M1M or at Sramana, which is my personal handle. We have a very active Twitter channel. We do microblogging at the rate of about a couple of hundred messages a day. So we have a tremendous amount of content that we put through our Twitter channel. If you're interested in startup content, it's one of the most active Twitter channels in the world. If you are live tweeting today, please use the hashtag 1M1M. We are going to be working actually first with Sanchit Garg, because Andrew, who was originally supposed to be the first presenter, has somehow not come online yet. Maybe having some technical difficulties or something, I'm not sure. We are tracking him down. But meanwhile, Sanchit, if you could unmute your line. Your slides are on the screen, and I will advance your slides as you ask me to. And folks,
okay, great.
Continue introducing yourselves and so forth. Go ahead, Sanchit.
Sure. Thank you, Sramana, for this opportunity. I'll just talk about Travel Triangle, about us, what we are. Starting with my introduction, I was in Yahoo, Bangalore, and I am a computer science graduate, 2008 batch from IIT Bombay background. My other co-founder, he is also on the same. He went to a CSE IIT Kharagpur. He was in Adobe for a couple of years when we started. Okay. In Travel Triangle, we are like eBay for travel, where we help customized packages. They are personalized packages from travel agents who operate from their destinations. So for example, if I am in Delhi and I want to go to, say, Maldives, then Travel Triangle would connect.
So explain a bit more with some use cases or exactly how it works. So if I actually am an avid traveler, so this is, even as a consumer, it's of interest to me, and we often like to put together tours in India, and it's quite cumbersome and quite complex to organize a trip in India. So help me understand how your service would help a customer like myself. Let's say I want to organize a trip in Madhya Pradesh. I want to spend a few days in the Bandhavgarh National Forest. We want to see tigers for sure, and maybe we want to go to Khajuraho. How would your service help us?
So if I go on the website, it's a very simple form which you will fill up. Your requirements, how many number of days, where you are, where you want to go, if you want flight tickets as well, or it's only what all your requirements are, and then you will get 4 to 5 quotes from travel agents who are local to Sariska or Ranthambore, where you are actually going. So these small travel agents, it was very difficult for you to reach. Mostly either go to an online travel agent or to a local travel agent who is in your periphery or neighborhood. And in both the cases, these parties, they will charge their own margins to the same local agent.
So how does, okay, got it. So you basically are going to solicit, you have a pool of travel agents in your marketplace, and you're going to get me quotes from each of these companies, and I will choose one, whatever is the best presentation, both in terms of the service as well as the quote. I will choose one of them, and that's how we start doing business. Now, what else is in your exchange? Does that mean after that the transaction goes offline, or the transaction actually happens on your exchange as well?
So it all happens on the website. So after 2 days, you will get an email that website. You will have your own link to see the 4 quotes. You can compare. You can ask agents to call you. You can do live chats. There will be virtual tours, slideshows, guides of your trip, which will help you. Also the rating.
Okay.
And when you select one of them, after you have done your further refinements and customizations, you can pay it right over on the website. The payment gateway is on Travel Triangle. The money comes to us, converts the remaining to travel agent. And the thing here is that you are actually a customer of the travel agent over there, and he knows what exactly you want to do and what your requirements are. And we specialize in customized and personal.
Okay.
Know exactly what you want to do.
And the payment happens on your side?
Yes.
Okay. And what percentage of the commission do you take?
We take commission, and we being a platform, even at 5%, we have a pretty good financial model.
Okay. So keep going. Let's keep listening to your presentation.
So right now, the problem. A couple of years back, I and my wife, we wanted to go to Kerala, and it was very difficult for us to first design our itinerary, which place to pick up and where to stay, for how many days to stay. There was no expert guidance.
Mm-hmm.
Newspapers and advertisement in online space giving us, fixed packages. 6-day Kerala, this much. 4-day Kerala, this much. But there was very little scope of, taking up personal preferences. Can you give me a one more day near the beach in the hotel? No. So those personal preferences were not there. And secondly, there was no expert guidance. So these are and thirdly, obviously, there are so many deals. It's very difficult for no reviews, no ratings of travel agents either. So that's the problem that we are solving.
Okay.
If I can get to next slide. And Travel Triangle stands exactly there. We try to connect a traveler to trusted destination where traveler would be going, and that so local travel agents is a big time proposition. So they have better deals, they give you better services, and they know the best about the place. So you can, such as I want to wash elephants, I want to go to spice market of Kerala, I want to do sari shopping, and these kind of customizations which are not possible in fixed package. And they obviously get better deals and better services because these agents, they are big agents who are in Kerala. They have local tie-ups with the hotels.
Yeah.
So the whole travel triangle, I focused on the areas where I was where I would need help of yours and 1M by 1M, and that would be to be focused on customer acquisition strategy.
Mm-hmm. So how are
platform has been operational.
A little bit about how you're acquiring customers today. How many customers do you have? What are the current metrics of your business?
Samandra, can you please go one slide?
Yeah.
This is just a small gist of what we are right now. As I told, we started in June, and right now we are a garage startup with to do the operations and other stuff. 75 agents signed up, 25 are doing deals with us, weekly or so. And, we have done transactions of most of them coming in last couple of months as we are growing up. And the customers right now we are getting is from word of mouth. We also, couple of times post on Planet, Wikipedia, TripAdvisor.
Mm-hmm.
But right now we were more focusing on stabilizing the platform. And now we are, right now when we think that our platform is stable, we want to take customer acquisition as full-fledged.
Okay. And you've had about 900 travelers using the platform so far.
Yes, so 900 travelers, they signed up on the platform. They some of them we couldn't serve because we didn't add those destinations. We were able to make 65 bookings.
What destinations are you seeing the maximum demand for?
That's the second last bullet here. Leh, Kerala, Sri Lanka, and Rajasthan. Okay. We added 6 months back. Rajasthan, Sri Lanka, we added a couple of months back.
I see. And how do you acquire the travel agents today?
Acquiring travel agents is very, there are a lot of travel conferences. So, for example, tomorrow is another travel conference with the name SATE. Every, a lot of travel agents, around 1,000 travel agents all over the world, they come there, they go about them, read their reviews, check out their office. A lot of time we do physical verification, and then after all is good, we onboard them.
And do you have the list of 1,000, whatever is the number of travel agents that you are working with? Do you have a full list of them?
Yes, of course. It's all on the platform. It's a very automated kind of a platform. You can, if you want an analogy.
No. I'm not asking for a platform. I'm asking from a travel agent acquisition point of view, because you have, in a marketplace, you have two sides of the equation, right? You need enough travel agents to be on the platform, and you need enough travelers on the platform. So the question I'm asking right now is what is your level of reach in the travel agent community?
So
because in many ways, it's actually not so difficult to reach. If it's a question of reaching 1,000, 2,000 travel agents, that is not difficult to reach. You can just, email them, call them, and talk to them, and getting them on the platform is not that difficult.
Correct.
You have, I assume that that side of the equation is under control, yeah?
Correct, exactly. So that part of that's a very established task, which we have,
And what is the composition, the 900 travelers who have used the service in the last 3 months, what is the composition of these travelers? Demographically, where are they coming from? How did they find you?
That's where word of mouth spreads. And 30% are international travelers who are visiting to India or Southeast Asia.
They're all based in India or Southeast Asia?
No.
Sorry, come.
30% are based out of, say, US, Europe, Australia.
Oh, okay. 30% based in US, Europe, Australia, 70% based in India or Southeast Asia. Okay, let's go to your questions then. What about guerrilla PR? How much PR have you got so far, and what have you done about it?
Regarding PR, we got a couple of magazines like Your Story, Spark, and similar. But we are now trying to get deeper into PR. Getting into travel magazines, newspapers, and other.
So guerrilla PR guerrilla PR is one of the most effective means of marketing for something like this, because There's tons of coverage on travel, everywhere actually, and online. So specifically, the kinds of customers you're looking for are the highly online savvy customers, and potentially the huge mass of customers who are, non-resident Indians traveling back from elsewhere, looking for information about traveling in India. That is a very, very interesting category. Even within India, it's an interesting category. So I think guerrilla PR would be probably one of my #1 ways of generating customers. Do you have a blog?
Yes, we write a few travel blogs, but right now we don't have much traction over there. We have articles and all those things.
You're going to need to start building up a blog from an SEO point of view, and you can even get the travel agents that you're working with. You can offer them. One of the ways I would design the system is such that all these travel agents can have their own blog on your platform. It has to be on your domain, so that you encourage these travel agents to submit articles and guest blog or write their blogs on your domain, so that the SEO traffic that comes to your domain organically and over time is significant. That is one of the ways you build up SEO traffic. So you make the point that Holiday IQ gets 3,000 leads per day on organic traffic. To be able to build up a strong SEO presence, you're going to need to harness SEO traffic with good, solid content. And one of the ways you can do that is by getting the travel agencies to blog with you, and also create your own blogging on specific destinations and travel. And maybe you can even interview the travel agencies and about specific destination, on what's a good itinerary for such and such destination. Maybe about Kerala, there are some specific topics on Kerala, and so on and so forth. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. So we can focus there. So right now we ask travel agents to create their trips and so on, but blog is still a good idea.
I would say those are my two top. I wouldn't. SEM is expensive, especially getting PPC traffic from the US or Europe. That's going to be expensive. I don't think you have the budget for that right now. So I think the place where you would really be able to make significant headway without investing lots of money is doing SEO and blogs, and of course social media, most certainly social media. And then the guerrilla PR strategy would do very well with this kind of a business. I like what you're doing. Have you done a TAM analysis on this?
Sorry, I didn't get you. What analysis?
TAM, total available market.
Yes. So yeah, in our TAM market, which is for customized
how
trips.
How big is the market, you think?
500 crore INR.
And this is based on what? What is your algorithm for market sizing?
So I'll tell you how I reached there. The travel industry itself is $2 billion in India, and if you find out how many tourists online, it comes down to $500 million.
So $500 million is not your market. You're going to get 5% of that market, right? That's your commission.
So,
am I right?
Yeah, I mean, $500 million is something which we can get, and there are so many competitors. So as much as
your market, total available market, is about $250 million, isn't it?
It's around $2 billion in India.
Around $2 million in India. Okay, so then I'm not getting the numbers fully, but if you're talking about 5% of $500 million, that's about $25 million. It sounds like, based on what you've said so far, that's my calculation. and that's a business that you're going to have to bootstrap. Are you with me?
Yes, till now I am with you.
Okay.
I am with you.
All right. So I have answered your questions on customer acquisition. We can talk if there's any other question you can ask now. Otherwise, I'm going to move on to work with Andrew, and if you hang on, I'll tell you more about how we work with entrepreneurs in 1 million by 1 after as the final segment.
Sure, I will wait.
Okay, great. Thank you, Sanchit. I like what you're doing. It's a very useful thing, especially I resonate with it very much as a customer of as a potential customer of your service. So I will definitely look into it to potentially use it for the next time I'm planning a trip.
Thank you, Sramana. I'll look forward to your request.
Okay. All right, Andrew, you're next. If you could please unmute your line and come on, that'll be great.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Sorry, I'm a little bit late. We had an emergency at the car wash. So, in my full-time job, we are in the car wash business, and it's a very hands-on, dirty business. So, we like most businesses, we've gotten onto the Facebook pages bandwagon, and it's an essential part of our business. I guess maybe let's go to the second slide. I'm the little one.
Andrew, before we go on, I think you have confused and intrigued all of us quite a bit. We are talking about the social media accelerator and the car wash business in the same slide.
I'm in the car wash business, so.
You're in the car wash business. So Babel is a car wash business?
No. We actually our car wash is called Carbucks, but this is something that we developed through the use of Facebook with our business.
Okay.
All right. So part of the problem we have is that we have this wonderful Facebook page, and I used to manage the Facebook page, and I would go maybe 2-3 weeks without posting anything, and during that time, the Facebook page would pretty much lie dormant. Customers weren't posting anything, not unless somebody had a customer service issue. So we had an employee who joined us probably about 5-6 months ago, and I have now since ceded that to her. So she's done an amazing job creating pretty active content. The problem is, as soon as she stops posting or creating some sort of line of conversation, everything dries up on her page. No one goes to the page anymore, not unless she is constantly posting and constantly coming up with new ideas. So that's the problem. And as you can see from the graph, most people are in the same boat where 74% of all businesses, and most of them are small businesses in the United States or wherever, are managing their own social media feeds.
Okay.
So here, for example, you can almost go to any business. It doesn't really matter to the size, small business, but this is just a car dealership. Actually, it's one of the car dealerships I go to. And I did this 2 Fridays ago. You can see the last post on their Facebook page was May 2011. So, they're spending, everybody's moving their advertising dollars to Facebook, yet they're not managing their Facebook page. There's nothing happening. So for the last 7 or 8 months, nothing happened. So what's the solution to that? Or a partial solution is automation. In my business, in the car wash business, we automate everything. We don't have cashiers anymore. It's all done by machines, all done at touchscreen. The whole place is run by the computers. However, I still have people that we need to, answer customer questions and maintain equipment and things like that. So what we came up with is I'm calling it a social media outpost. It's a tablet located at retail sites. It will allow customers to post pictures or videos directly from the retail business simultaneously to my Facebook page, meaning the business Facebook page, and to the individual Facebook page. So it's a simultaneous posting.
And what is the content of the posting? The real issue here, and I can speak from experience. What we do, for example, is on our Facebook page is we have a very active blog, and the blog feeds are passed through the Facebook page. That's how we keep a very active Facebook page going.
Right. So in your situation, you are not a retail business. So for a retail business, or most of the small business owners in around the world, it's you wear many hats. So as I showed on the previous slide, where 74% of the people are managing their own Facebook feed, well, you're not just managing your Facebook feed. You're customer service. You're doing inventory. You're doing the books. So what happens is the Facebook page sits dormant for months at a time. And the one I showed you previously was an auto dealership. You can go look at almost any dealership, and I've looked at dozens, and I've looked at them not just in my local town.
I understand what you're saying, that most small businesses are not organized enough to pass a blog feed through their Facebook page. I fully understand that. The question I'm asking is a slightly more subtle question. How do you automatically generate content that is relevant to that particular retail store? So in your value proposition, you're saying you're going to securely create and post pictures and videos directly to the Facebook page. What content is being posted, and who handles that?
The most important type of advertising, and it has been for thousands of years, is word of mouth. So how do you get that word of mouth onto your business Facebook page and on the customer's Facebook page so all their friends will see it? Well, the way you can do that right now with your cell phone, you could take a video of yourself and you could post it on the business page, but people aren't doing it. It's not being done. People are not buying a new vehicle and then posting on the Lexus page. I just bought a brand new Lexus. They're posting it on their personal page, but not on the business's Facebook page. And when it's being done very, very infrequently. So this is, if you want to think of, say, a photo booth that you would see at parties, but a much smaller scale in terms of just having a tablet mounted at the business with very attractive signage to entice people, and often it'll have a question of the day or other types of ways to entice people to use the tablet. And they record videos, so they can record about a 15 or 20-second video. So imagine that you just took a test drive in a car, and the sales guy says, listen, we have a booth over there. Go onto the tablet, and it's a very quick and easy log on, which I'll get into in a minute, and post a video. And when you do that, we will give you $250 off on your new car purchase. Additionally, all your friends who see this feed on your wall, and it gets posted to their wall, will be able to get the same $250 discount. So if you want to think along the lines of what maybe this is most similar to, Facebook is now, their new type of advertising is called sponsored stories. And Facebook went to sponsored stories because they did not have a way to monetize the social media stream on mobile devices. So that's what the sponsored story does, because the Facebook ads are unable to monetize on mobile devices. This does the same thing. This will monetize that feed regardless of the device, whether it's on a mobile device or on a computer. Can we go to the next slide? So let me just kind of explain real quickly how it operates. So I didn't want to have a login. I didn't want people to see you have to log in to a tablet with a username and a password. So what we've devised is a way that a QR code would display on the tablet. You would scan it with your cell phone, and that will give you a temporary login to the tablet. So you are temporarily logged into the tablet. At that point in time, you can choose whether you're going to do a picture or a video. And the pictures will be more like a photo booth style, where you take 3 or 4 pictures. And there may be props there to help people display the product that they're taking a picture of, in the store. Or on the video, it'll have some props to help them talk about their experience with that product. And after you take your 15-second video, you play it back, make sure you like it, or you can redo it. And then it posts immediately to Facebook, to your Facebook page, and to the business's Facebook page.
But that will require credentials, login credentials. So the customer will have to give login credentials to be able to post that to the tablet, to be able to post anything to the Facebook page.
No, we've devised a method where that's not totally necessary. Where,
tell me how.
Well, I'm not a programmer. The other person in the picture, the real tall guy in the picture, is my brother, and that's his domain. So I'm a mechanical engineer, but I'm not a programmer, so I can't explain the API behind it. But that he has devised a way to do that.
I'm sorry, but I don't think this is doable. There's no place in the workflow that you just suggested. There is no way to identify the customer and tie it to a Facebook profile. And without that information, how can you post to somebody's Facebook page?
Well, again, I'm not a programmer, but he has it figured out. So he's got a way to scan. Now, he said he's working on two different methods right now. One where it's internet-based. The other one would be where there's a small application you would have to download. And then once you have that application download onto your smartphone, at that point in time, it will be able to log into the tablet safely without having to type in a username or password.
I don't think people would be willing to do that.
Well, I think they would. And I think that there's a tremendous market for this. Everybody likes to see their face on video, on pictures, and it's a very, very powerful tool to getting people to post pictures or videos about the product. Again, this is also going to be tied in, like I said, with the auto dealership exercise, that there's an enticement for them to do it, where they will have a reason to do it as opposed to just say, post a picture just to see your face on Facebook, to see a picture of yourself on Facebook. There's a monetary component to it where they're enticed with coupons or discounts instantly. So they're at the physical location, and at that point in time, they can redeem that.
Here's my observation on that. If it's an auto dealership and it's a $250 discount on a car, that's a substantial enough discount for which people may be willing to do it. But if you're working with price points that are much smaller, I think it'll be much harder to entice people to do something like this. So if this offering is limited to high ticket items like a car, for instance, and a vanity item at that, something that people want to show off, that may be fine. But if you're, so I don't know what other segments you're planning to.
I think it has applications in. I mean, if you look at, why are people enticed to do Foursquare check-ins right now? This is adding a video personal component to something like a Foursquare check-in, which people do at our business as well. And it's not just for dealerships. I mean, if that was the case, then why would restaurants give away a free appetizer to get you into the business? They're doing that with couponing right now.
See, I mean, don't be defensive. My intent is not.
No, I'm not. I understand you, and I think you bring up a very, very valid point. Even if it's car dealerships, there are over 20,000 car dealerships in the United States. So I do think that
here's my concern, and it's something that you're going to need to validate whether your assumptions are correct or not. A 20% off in a restaurant is part of the workflow. It shows up in the check. When you have a discount offer or a coupon or whatever, it's not a complex, cumbersome process to get that benefit. It basically gets taken off the check. You don't really have to do anything. You don't have to think about it. Here you're talking about having to download an application on your cell phone, then record a video. I mean, the amount of time you're asking people to commit and the amount of, engagement you're asking people to put in requires that it's a significant part of their life. Okay, fine. So if you're buying a car, maybe that is a significant enough thing. You buy a car once every so many years, and it's a vanity item. People like to show off a new car, blah, blah, blah. Maybe people would be willing to do that with the car dealership. And yes, your point is well taken. There are 20,000 car dealerships, fine. That's a solution for car dealerships, that's fine. But I think what you need to find are, if you want to do a large business, you're going to need to figure out what other segments have that behavior pattern where people's, where the ducks line up for this kind of behavior change to be warranted. That's my point.
I don't think it's such. I think those are very valid points, and we have discussed that. You know, people who are not in the retail business per se have said that to me. You know, why would, you know, mostly, you know, I've presented the idea to other techies, you know, and the techies seem to have that same kind of mentality. I'm on the front lines of retail in my business. We wash thousands of cars every day. So I'm in touch with what my customers are doing and posting. I've had people post videos on Facebook, on our Facebook page. I've had people post pictures on our Facebook page. It's a very, very simple and easy process. It's pretty much the whole process that we've designed is it's like a 3 or 4-step process. And the video is not something complicated. It's a very, very quick 15-second video, 15 to 20-second video. It's not a 3 or 4 minute ordeal that you script and you have to really think about what you're doing. If you've ever seen, you know, customer testimonials, I was watching the Super Bowl last Sunday, and a local car dealership had an ad, and the whole ad was customer testimonials about the dealership. It had 4 people talking for about 5 to 10 seconds apiece, and that's what this does. Again, it's
4 to 5 people to do something is an entirely different proposition than getting 4 million people to do something.
Oh, sure. But you don't need
finding 4 or 5 people to record customer testimonials is not a big deal.
Yeah, you don't need or want every single customer to do this. You know, what we're looking for is, you know, even if you get 1 or 2 a day that are posting these videos on your Facebook page, well, then you have an active Facebook page. You have some engagement. You have some organic content versus I'm a car wash and our social media administrator posting, who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? And that's what she posted. You know, I don't tell her what to post or not to post, but she's posting things that have nothing to do with our business as a car wash. She's posting things that are just kind of general things that other people are posting on their Facebook pages as well. So we're trying to generate some organic content from the people that really matter, are the customers. And yeah, we're not looking for every customer to do it. If you get a couple a day, it creates some interest on your Facebook page. It creates some dynamic content, I believe.
Let's keep going.
Sure. So, I mean, this is, you know, I put some of the market in there, and this is where, you know, if you look about it, this is really where Facebook is moving with the sponsored stories. And why is a sponsored story so important? Why is Foursquare so important? Because somebody checked in at your business and you know they were there and your friends get to see that you've engaged with that business. Well, how much more powerful is it if they have a video? And this is just a quick slide showing Facebook revenues. This is all in the news lately, so it's really not that interesting anymore. This is something that is on the tables now, started February 1st at Subway, where Subway will donate money if you post a picture of yourself sipping a Diet Coke, and you'd use the hashtag. It's hashtag Subway Heart Truth, and it's on every table in every Subway. And I go to Subway probably 4 or 5 times a week, and when I saw this, I thought I was like, wow, this is exactly what we're doing, but it's not monetizing. And I haven't gone into the fundraising aspect of our of this idea as well, but there is a fundraising component, which I can get to in a minute. And the little graph here on the right side is showing that the traffic for posting this picture of people in Subway restaurants drinking a Diet Coke, it shot up even before the campaign began. The campaign began on February 1st, and if you can see, that's the traffic on January 31st before it even began. So there is considerable interest and this is just for Subway to donate $1. You post the picture and they donate $1. So the fundraising component of this idea, and we do something very similar at our car washes right now, is a lot of the small nonprofits, and even the larger nonprofits as well, they're constantly looking for ways to raise money. And we get requests on a daily basis, either through our website or people calling up asking, you know, can you donate some coupons, some car wash coupons for our raffle? Are there other ways that we can raise money with your car wash as opposed to them holding a car wash? So one aspect of this is that you know, say it's a Boy Scout troop. The Boy Scout troop says, you know, go to the car wash and post a video today, and the car wash will donate whatever, $2, $3 for every video that is posted simultaneously on their Facebook page and on our business Facebook page. And that's a very powerful way to get people. One, what it does is it creates more likes for your business page. So you're doing a couple things simultaneously. When they're doing this, they have to like your page to post the video. So we're kind of stuck. Our business right now, we're kind of stuck around a little under 1,000 likes. I'd like to be at 10,000 likes because we have enough volume to justify that. We have enough customers to justify the 10,000 likes. So it creates additional likes, and it creates a fundraising component, and it drives content to our site. So let's go to the next page, please. So then the question is, how do you monetize this? How do you turn this idea of people posting pictures or videos into money? So there are several different aspects that we came up with, 3 different plans, similar to a cell phone plan, where you pay a monthly subscription fee. And we have 3 different levels depending on the type of service, depending on what we provide, depending on what marketing materials we provide. So right now, a lot of businesses are spending money on a monthly basis, and the going rate seems to be between $250 to $500 for a social media coordinator. So people are hiring outside businesses to run the feeds on their social media stream. And 2 weeks ago, I went to a presentation from a large national media company, and the presentation was for them to manage my Facebook feed for, and I'm a small business, I have 3 locations, but I'm still a small business, for a tidy sum of $1,900 per month. And they didn't blink an eye when they said the $1,900 a month to manage my own social media stream. I'm not going to pay that, and either are the millions of other small businesses around this country. They're not going to pay to have a business manage their social media stream for close to $2 grand a month.
That's right.
There's a benefit
in your case, the pricing that you're presenting here, what is your assessment of how many other things that are going to happen in this business's social media strategy? You are doing one piece of it, which is just managing the Facebook page. What else is happening that is that they have to pay for? I mean, would it add up to a significant amount like that $1,900 a month?
Well, hopefully not. You know, the whole point of this is that it would be a way for small businesses to have organic content streamed directly to their Facebook page, because it's just not happening right now. Just for an example, right now, if you post a picture or video on our Facebook page, we will send you a free car wash. So I've already put a dollar value on what it's worth to me for my business for you to post a picture or video. And we've had people do it, not enough. Even as simple as it is with a cell phone, I guess it's just a little awkward holding your cell phone in front of you to take a video. But if you had a dedicated space, a very small space, you don't need a lot of space for a tablet, then I think people would be more willing to do this. And yeah, when it starts up in a business, you may need to have an employee there kind of encouraging people to do it. And you think about a product tester. If you I don't know if you frequent.
Well, that's the question I was asking, is what other expenses are here? If there's an employee that you need to add to that, that will significantly push up the per month cost.
Right. Well, the employee is for the business, for the actual retail business. It's not necessary. I'm all about automation, but it may be helpful, especially when it starts, when this idea is new in businesses. It may be helpful to have an employee there kind of guiding them through that. We, at our car wash, we have automated tellers, auto cashiers that we call them, and it's touchscreen. Well, when we first opened, customers had some questions. And it's very, 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 very simple interface, very big buttons, and only 1 or 2 buttons you can press. And after the first time, they get it. They know how to do it. And, we'd have to help customers for the first week or so we were open, and then the customers understand how easy the interface is. And since that time, we've changed the interface from time to time, and then the customers now know what to do. They have learned the flow of the machines that they can do it themselves. And as people get more used to automation with ATM machines and things like that, I think people are pretty comfortable now using automation.
Okay.
So this is, I guess, our rollout and customer acquisition strategy. The first 6 months is beta testing, and we should have our working models in about 2 months. We have contacts, and we've already discussed the idea with several friends in the grocery business, in the restaurant business, and they are very eager and excited to try this out, to see how it works, to see what kind of traffic they're going to get generated on their Facebook page. One of the people that I've approached about this, who I talked with during our startup weekend, he was telling me he spends between $7,000 and $10,000 a year right now on his Facebook stream. So he has a social media coordinator, and he said this would help him so much because even though he has a social media coordinator, he's not getting the pictures and videos that he wants, that people so desire. That's why YouTube is so powerful, because you can that interaction is just missing from a post, from just words. So we based our first year numbers off of a very conservative 250 installs.
You need 250 customers to get to 600K is what you're saying?
Right, and that's, looking on a per month basis of 200. I believe we used a $200 a month average in terms of what would be spent in terms of the subscription model, and that's one of the reasons why we feel we can justify this. And I was listening on your comments. I've watched some of your other presentations. Is that this is a subscription model? It's not like Groupon, where you have to continuously find new customers.
Yeah,
of course, you always want to.
That's the good part of it, absolutely.
Yeah, it's a subscription model, and in our business at the car wash, we have moved to a subscription model where for $30 a month you can wash your car unlimited, and we've done that in the last year. It has completely changed our business. So before, when it rained and I'm sitting here and we're not generating any income, now we have over 1,000 customers on our monthly car wash club, $30 a month. I'm still generating income on days when it rains and I have no cars coming to my car wash. So I do like a subscription model. If you want to think about the contract, think it very similar to a cell phone contract.
I understand. So the one thing, though, if you're saying that you are going to, it sounds like you're going to be generating revenues for the second half of the year, right?
That's correct.
It's based on half a year's worth of subscription revenue.
That's correct. Or maybe more like 9 months. So it's.
Do you have any thoughts on these 250 that you're going to go after? Is there segmentation in this? I see restaurants, retail, grocery, car washes, gyms. Is there any kind of segmentation in this?
No, I want a wide swath of. We have some excellent contacts in our local community. I grew up here. I've been here for 42 years. My parents have been here. My dad's been coming here since the 50s. So we have a lot of good contacts, good business contacts, fellow business owners, and not just businesses, but also nonprofits. Gyms, YMCA type community centers. We have very close contacts with the executive directors of several of these facilities in town. So, for example, our local community center right now is doing a Facebook check-in where every time you come in, you scan a QR code, and after you do 8 check-ins, you get a bottle of water. So this would augment that. This would be in addition to something like that, and they're already getting customers used to doing that.
That's interesting.
So,
interesting concept here.
It's the kind of thing that just.
Do you think you get 250 paying customers within a 3-month period?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
And now this is, again, I'm averaging out to $200 a month for 9 to 12 months, and that's where we're coming with our revenue stream.
And you're paying for the tablets, right?
It's going to be very similar to a cell phone where you pay where the cell phone is subsidized to a certain extent. And then by having a 2-year contract, it is built into that price. That's correct.
Okay, got it.
So this is a quote from my friend. He owns 4 restaurants in the Jacksonville area. And this is just a quote I got when we were doing the startup weekend, and I just love the quote. As a matter of fact, I met with him and the 2 gentlemen from the company that you had participate, I think 2 weeks ago, Ziffer. We met and we talked about, finding a way to find some synergies between our ideas. So I brought my friend Robert in here who owns 4 restaurants, and we discussed ideas for creating that type of synergy. And
so these 4, if he has 4 locations, you get 4 units out of that, right? Or
That's
do you
correct.
Get?
That's correct. It's per facility.
Location.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And that's something we kept from our startup weekend. I loved the image of the Facebook on fire. I've done a lot of research looking at other Facebook sites, other small businesses, large businesses, you name it. And the underlying factor is that the content is very contrived, where the social media coordinators are trying to pull a conversation out of the users. And I heard something very interesting on a CNBC piece they did on Facebook, that the people who are on Facebook, the 850 million people, they are not the customers. The 850 million people are the content. The customers are the businesses that advertise on Facebook. That's where Facebook is monetizing their product. And that's what this is geared towards. This is geared towards the people who are actually spending money on Facebook, the businesses.
Well, that's been the Google strategy as well. The whole advertising revenue came from the businesses.
Yeah, yeah.
So do you have any questions specifically for me? I understand your concept. It's an interesting concept.
Yeah, part of, I think you brought up a good question, and it's something that we have talked about, is in terms of hardware. Like if you go back a couple screens and talk about our different subscription levels. So our first subscription level, and this kind of came about from our team during startup, was, do you want to be in the hardware business? Do you want to be in the business where you're providing a tablet to customers? Because what's going to happen, and I'm all too familiar with this, is that someone's going to say it doesn't work anymore. And what's going to,
you're going to have to service that hardware.
Exactly. And the reason I like a tablet is because a tablet you can mail back. You don't need a person there. You can mail it back, and then you can have a new one delivered. But you still would probably, very similar to a cell phone contract. Well, I think they were trying to contact me. Well, yesterday at the car wash, I put my cell phone in water. So I've been without a cell phone for the last day. But I have insurance on my cell phone. So that would be another option to add here, is an insurance component where for, an extra $10 a month, the business would have insurance on the tablet. So what are your thoughts about providing the hardware or letting the customer provide the hardware?
I think you're going to kind of need to provide the hardware, just because you're going to have the tablet set up and ready to go with all the software set up and applications and everything loaded, because the kind of customer you're dealing with, if you expect them to set everything up themselves, this is going to be a bit of a, at least in the beginning, until the concept starts to take hold, you're going to have to provide the, I think you're going to have to provide, you don't have a choice. I think you're going to have to deal with providing the tablet as well. That's my hunch, but you need to check that with your customers, whether they're willing to do it themselves or not.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other comment I have on this is, I would cut 3 levels, this tiered subscription model, I would cut that and just do 1 level of pricing. Make
okay.
it
just to make
general,
it simpler to understand?
Yeah. If you see, what you're going to do otherwise is you're going to spend all day and night explaining the 3 tiers of pricing. Why bother? Just do one tier.
Right.
And there's there's no need to do 100 and 750. Just do the middle ones, 350, and be done with it.
I'm all for simplicity. I have to preach that every day in our business. If my customers can't understand it and understand it quickly, then you spend more time.
As a rule, in tiered pricing, you end up explaining a lot. Unless there are some models of tiered pricing where it's very simple, which is maybe volume based. Certain thresholds of volume trigger a higher price point. But this is not so much volume based. This is more complicated, and it's not clear what basic, advanced, and premium are. So everybody is going to worry about, okay, what's in basic, what's in advanced. Forget it. Just make it one pricing.
Right. No, I do agree with you. I think it would make it very, very simple that way. Just say, here's our pricing, and that's it.
Right.
And then maybe you can build other applications as you go along. You can build
but
other
I think we're a long way from that. Right now, you need to build a basic business. So just keep things as simple as possible. Yeah.
You're 100% right. That's the most important thing right now. Getting it out there and getting it used.
Great.
And
all right.
Collecting that data. Thank you so much for your time. I greatly appreciate it.
You're most welcome.
Your insight was fantastic.
Okay, folks, we're going to go and do a little segment on how 1 million by 1 million works with customers, with entrepreneurs, and then we're going to do Q&A. We're going to definitely save some time to do Q&A. I see a lot of stuff floating, including some private messages coming to me. Folks, please do not send me private messages right now, because while I'm working with entrepreneurs or doing presentations, it's very difficult for me to monitor private chat. Put everything in public chat, and I'll come back and pick up your questions in just a few minutes. Okay, so before we go into the segment on 1 million by 1 million, I want to request you, if you find what we are doing here valuable, please help introduce 10 serious entrepreneurs into 1 million by 1 million. Because as I said right at the onset, there is absolutely no way what 1 million by 1 million is trying to accomplish of helping 1 million entrepreneurs reach $1 million in annual revenue and beyond by 2020 is going to be possible unless we can find serious entrepreneurs who have the resilience and the mettle to, see through building serious businesses. So we are always looking for serious entrepreneurs who really want to build significant businesses. All right, so let's go into the details of how we work with entrepreneurs. The site, by the way, is http://1m1m.sramanamitra.com. Here are the resources that you can access. The absolute basic level of free resource is our blog, sramanamitra.com. We have lots of case studies. We have, great deal of industry trend information, interviews, role models, and, all sorts of lessons from the trenches. You can, consume as much of the blog as you like, and you will find actually all the case studies that we use in the curriculum are actually freely available on the blog itself. In addition, we have more synthesized versions of case studies, these role model interviews, and so forth in the Entrepreneur Journeys book series, and that's a 4-book series so far. And the books are, the first volume is a series of 12 case studies, and it really goes into the philosophy of how to build a business block by block by block. And, how to put one step before the other, how to do customer acquisition, how to do customer validation, how to understand your options as far as financing is concerned, how to do market sizing. All these blocks are, kind of dealt with in these case studies. And in the book series, you'll find a couple of core philosophies of the 1 million by 1 million methodology captured. One is bootstrapping, and 2 is positioning. So bootstrapping, because we are very much of the philosophy of building lean, capital-efficient startups. We will never steer you in the direction of a business plan that requires raising huge amounts of money up front, because that is a strategy that is fraught with risk. And, over 99% of entrepreneurs who go out to look for money get rejected. So it's much better to have generally the bootstrapping approach, build your business up, keep validating, and then once you're at a sufficiently validated stage, your likelihood of being able to attract financing is much higher, And you can also build businesses without any financing. We're perfectly okay with that. We're the only incubator in the world, actually, that is completely comfortable supporting businesses that are not into financing. The complete contrast of that model is Y Combinator, where you only can participate in Y Combinator if you are a fundable business. We don't care about fundability. Irrespective of financing, we help build businesses through business strategy and execution. Positioning is the other core philosophy in our model, which is the reason we focus so heavily on positioning is because the only way to build a very, very tight capital efficient business is by really sharply positioning and following very crisp methods of putting one step before the other. So all these books are available on Amazon, Kindle internationally, and in India they're available from Flipkart and soon probably from Amazon as Amazon enters India. So SramanaMitra.com, as I said, is the blog URL. In addition, we have another layer of free resource, which are these roundtables. Pretty much every Thursday we have online roundtables that are free, and we support up to 5 entrepreneurs to pitch at these roundtables. This is our 115th roundtable. We have had over 8,000 people attend these roundtables. I've personally coached over 500 entrepreneurs. So we have very deep experience in the issues that come up in entrepreneurs' lives. So then we have the premium program, which offers extensive methodology guidance of how to build a business in the early stages. We have a great curriculum. We have over 100 hours of curriculum material in form of video lectures and case studies. We do a lot of business development, customer introductions, channel partner introductions, and we do strategy consulting, this kind of strategy consulting in a more in-depth way. And one of the ways we are able to do that is because people who come into the premium program also have the benefit of 100+ hours of curriculum material, which helps them learn a lot of the basic material. And then when they come and have these kinds of one-on-one sessions at the private roundtables, we have exactly the same format at this, except if the private roundtables are members only. That strategy consulting session is more intense just because they have done some of the curriculum work to prepare for that session. We also help with financing in the case of fundable businesses. We also help with financing, which begs the question, what is fundable? And this is a question that we deal with all the time, and we have very deep experience in assessing fundability and figuring out what are the gaps in your fundability. So if you are looking to be financed, you really need to understand whether you're fundable or not. And there are some obvious gaps that need to be filled if you ever want to raise financing. And we are very experienced in assessing those issues. All right. So if you were to do the 1 million by 1 million premium program, which is a $1,000 annual membership fee, it's a subscription model, first thing we would ask you to do is go do the self-assessment. And it's a 9-point self-assessment that has some of the top issues of entrepreneurs covered. And if you are a premium member, you have curriculum modules that go with each of those issues to plug your gaps of knowledge gaps and understanding gaps in each of those areas. And you can, if you're a premium member, you can basically use the curriculum to plug your gaps. The site is 1m1m.sramanamitra.com, and on the top right corner of that site, you will find premium program FAQ and videos. So these are basically areas where you will find more information about the program. You know, what to expect from the premium program is a page that you should study if you're considering joining the program, because that's where you get a lot of the information, including FAQ and the videos, on what we can bring to the table. As I said, the methodology is very much lean, capital efficient, bootstrap startups. We insist on saving money. We insist on saving your money. So, very often I would get questions on, should I go trigger a minimum viable product development? I would look at the situation, and there have been cases where I've advised people against going and spending that money yet, because the product is not scoped out well enough, and if you get to starting development without proper due diligence on the specification process, you're going to build the wrong product. And in the process, you've saved $15,000, $20,000 right away. Or triggering some sort of an expense which may or may not be the best strategy in terms of where you spend your money right now. So there's a cost-saving aspect to it as well, just because we have a good understanding of what results in results, effectively. So in the curriculum, we have two types of material. One is the core curriculum, and then there are the electives. The core curriculum consists of 7 modules: bootstrapping, positioning, market sizing, customer validation, financing, customer acquisition, and team building. On the elective side, we have a variety of modules that align with the trends of the industry. We have a lot of Web 3.0 and e-commerce type of material, because that's a big trend in the industry. 5 billion people are going to be on the internet by 2020. So we see a ton of companies being built on the Web 3.0 and e-commerce business model. Cloud computing and business solutions, mobile and social apps, healthcare IT, gaming, online education, educational tech. These are all big trends, and we have specific modules, elective modules on each of those. As I said, the curriculum consists of case studies and video lectures. And one thing to note is that case studies are actually entrepreneurs, successful entrepreneurs, sharing their lessons from the trenches with you. So this is not exactly Sramana teaching you the 1 million by 1 million curriculum only. This is really over 500 entrepreneurs teaching you based on their experiences and their entrepreneurial journeys. That's what's so powerful about this curriculum. There's nothing like this anywhere in the world. It's like a mini MBA for a $1,000 annual membership fee, and you just get a tremendous amount of value. This is a coverage of a business development deal that we did between a large $200 million company and one of our entrepreneurs in the premium program. This is a coverage of a company. We do a lot of PR work. We give our companies lots of media coverage because we have a tremendous amount of presence in the media. So we are able to, if you have an announcement, if you want to, draw attention to your product or your company, we are able to deliver a lot of that, and this is just one of the articles that I wrote about one of our companies in one of my syndicated columns that Read Write Web syndicates. Talking about Facebook page, which we had a comprehensive discussion today, this is my Facebook page, actually my Facebook profile, and somebody was sending me, somebody who pitched at one of these roundtables was sending me a message saying, well, Sramana, I wish we had access to 1 million by 1 million 3 years ago when I started, and I had raised a bunch of angel money, but now I've run out of that money and I'm going out of business because I didn't do the right things in the right order. I spent that money in a way that I should not have spent that money. Well, this is a comment that we hear from a lot of people, that I wish I had access to 1 million by 1 million 3 years ago when I started working on it and I made a lot of mistakes. So, well, we're here now. So if you are encountering 1 million by 1 million today, please start using the service because you have a lot to gain from it. We work with a lot of incubators around the world, and incubators provide scholarships, 1 million by 1 million scholarships. They supplement their programs with our offerings and so on and so forth. We also have an affiliate program, and we work with various affiliate partners around the world, and we offer 10% affiliate commission to our affiliate partners. Upcoming free roundtables, we have February 16th, 23rd, March 1st, March 8th, and March 15th, and please feel free to sign up for any of them if you would like to share your business with me and get some feedback. Final point is that I do have a book called Vision India 2020. So if you're interested in leveraging the strategic advantages of India, whether it's India as a market or India as a product development destination, you would find $45 billion business ideas that leverage India's strategic advantages in this book. And it's written as business fiction set in 2020. And as such, it's a futuristic retrospective. We're looking back on how we've built these 45 companies, so that a lot of the strategy details are detailed out in a great deal of depth. So you're very welcome to steal, morph these ideas and execute on them. We do have modules. We do have a full a module called Vision India 2020 in the 1 million by 1 million premium program, and you're very welcome to use the program to build one of these businesses. And again, the book is available on Amazon, Kindle, and Flipkart. So that's roughly what I have to tell you in terms of the program, and I am going to open up my public chat, and you can ask questions and comments in the public chat now. So we have some time to do some Q&A today. Feel free to use the public chat to ask questions. Roland is asking, on average, for how long do entrepreneurs stay in the program? I'm aware that you have a yearly fee, but I just want to know the average. We don't have a lot of history. We just started the premium program a year ago, so we are just encountering renewals, and people are renewing. Not everybody is renewing, but some people are renewing, so we just don't have enough statistical data at this point to answer that question, Roland. John Schindler is commenting on the Facebook page business that we talked about earlier. Why would per post cost be higher for higher tiers, and the single tier approach makes this a moot point? That's a good observation. I think that business should not have a tiered pricing model. It should just be one level of pricing. Nikhil Yadav, you asked me a question privately, which is, what is the scope of open source product development and selling in India? It's a very broad question. We actually have plenty of course material on open source businesses and business models in the premium program. So it's hard for me to answer that question in a vacuum. If you are working on an open source product, please come and pitch specifics, and I will be happy to give you my feedback on your specific business. Roland, what about team building? Should we already have a full team prior to joining the program? Absolutely not. In fact, we encourage people to join as early as possible with nothing even. If you can join the program with just a concept or maybe 10 different concepts that you're trying to validate, and we'll be able to help you with that. If you go a long way and waste a lot of resources in doing the wrong things, we're going to have to unwind you to put you back on course. So we recommend that you join the program as early as possible. At the same time, we have companies in the program who already have $1 million in annual revenue or $2 million in annual revenue. Some have $250K, $500K in annual revenue. So we are perfectly fine working with any level of companies in the early stage business range. So Irina is asking Nikhil and Roland, I suppose, to call her or Skype her so that she can help you with your specific situations and help you understand how 1 million by 1 million applies to your specific situation. Anybody else? Any other questions, comments? Anybody? If not, then we're going to wrap up the session and carry on with our day. I'm sure all of us have a lot of work to do. And folks, those of you who want to pitch at a roundtable and get feedback on your business, I have just put up on the screen the schedule of the upcoming roundtables. The link to register is also on your screen, so please go ahead and register, and I will see you at the next roundtable. Thank you very much. Thanks for attending the presentation today, and look forward to seeing you soon. Bye-bye.